Hi everyone, this is BritSimon. So the DV 2025 entry period is still open at the moment. It'll be closing on November 7th. So we're about halfway through, almost halfway through. And one of the questions that I often get during the entry period or about the entry period is there a better day to enter? Is there a better time? Is it better to enter at the beginning of the entry period, or at the end of the entry period, or something in between? Is Tuesday better than Wednesday? Lots of questions like that. I saw a YouTuber the other day suggesting that the day of the entry period determines whether you get a high case number or a low case number. All of the theories about that are complete nonsense. Okay. The draw is random. It doesn't care what day you enter. However, there is evidence in the data that shows that more winners come from later in the period. And I'll show you that right now. But why is that? Is that because there's some sort of advantage to entering later? No, it just simply means that humans tend to procrastinate. They tend to leave things to the last minute. And that's what goes on. So let me show you the data, and you'll see what I mean. Okay, so what I've done is I've worked on a chart that shows for DV 2023 the day that each person entered that later then got an interview. Now, it's not the complete data set. We don't have the data set for every entry, of course. And we don't have the data set with the date of entry for every selectee in DV 2023. What we do have, though, is when we get the SEAC data, we have the submission date that particular case entered the lottery, right? So of the 35,000 cases that were scheduled for interview in DV 2023, we know the day those cases entered, and I've plotted that onto this chart. So you can see the first period of time. Let me zoom in on this because I bet that's I think that's probably small. Hang on a second. Let me zoom in on this. Okay, and we'll scroll down a little bit and just make it bigger. How's that? If I do that there. Okay. All right, so the 6th of October, of course, the entry period on the 6th of October, the first day, opened at noon. And so it wasn't a complete day for in a lot of places around the world. That would have been quite late at night for some places. And, so that wasn't a complete day. So that is the lowest number of selectees on that day. That might tell some people that you're less likely to win if you enter on that first day. That's not true. It simply is an indication that entering on the first day, number one, half the day is lost. That's one factor. And number two, it's actually quite hard to enter on the first day because it's very busy. The system is very busy. So if any of you have ever tried that, you'll know that for the first few hours, it's actually quite difficult to get your entry in. So it's not a surprise to me at all to see there's a low number on the first day. That makes perfect sense. And it doesn't indicate that there's less chance of selection on that first day. So then you can see the next couple of weeks, next 2 to 3 weeks, are all roughly the same. Okay, so something between 500 and 1,000 people per day. So this is cases, 35,000 cases. This is the day they entered the lottery, right? And again, this is people that were scheduled for interview. All right, so you can see that there. Now, you can see that in the last week or so, there's a significant increase, including the last complete day is the biggest day for winners, right? Now, that certainly does not mean, and please, I want to stress this again, it does not mean that there's more chance of selection if you enter on that last day. It simply means that people leave things to the last minute. Okay, so don't be that person, because if the system breaks at the last minute and you were waiting all of that time and you said, oh yeah, I'm going to enter on that last day because most of the winners come from that day, or a lot of winners come from that last day. If you wait and it breaks, or the system is so busy that you can't get into the system, then your chances are going to be gone for another year. You'll lose your chance. So it's really silly waiting till the last day, but people do. And then, of course, I call this the last day, the spike, because that's the last full day. The system shuts off, and so there are no more winners after a certain time. So again, this actual last day is not a complete day. So for most countries around the world, it shuts off during the day, right? So so you can see there is an increase over that last week. That's simply people leaving it to the last minute. I don't think that's a wise thing to do, but it's your choice. But what it does mean is that in the second half of the entry period, which we're into now, more winners are selected, right? More people are entering the lottery. So most people tend to spend the early part of the lottery period getting their stuff together, like photos and that sort of thing. And a lot of people will enter later in the program. So there is still plenty of time to enter. You have until November 7th. So you've got over 2 weeks to enter the lottery period. I personally don't recommend waiting till the last minute. I think you shouldn't do that. But here's the data. You can decide what you want to do and what that data is telling you. Okay. But let me just say again, one last time, the selection process is random and doesn't care about the day you enter, doesn't care about the color t-shirt you wear, doesn't care which YouTuber you listen to, doesn't care what prayer you say. It's a random selection. Okay. So there you go. Just thought I'd record that information for you, so at least you have that, and you can decide what to do with it. All right, everybody, please subscribe to my channel. If you expect to win the lottery, and you are hoping to be selected from DV 2025, you'll get your results in May of 24, right? Next year, about 6 months' time. When you get those results, some of you will want to be properly prepared to fill in your DS260 and move ahead with your application process. It's a slow process, but nevertheless, some of you might want to take that advantage of filling in your form fairly early. So if you want to know how to do it, my channel has got full instructions on how to do that. So I suggest you subscribe to my channel, turn on the notification bell, prepare yourself to be selected in May, and some of you will be winners. Not all of you by any means, but some of you will be. So if you want to be a winner, think like a winner, prepare yourself to be a winner, and who knows, maybe this year will be your lucky year. All right, everybody. Thank you. Bye-bye.